Alright, just a random video, I guess. Just want to talk about multiple topics, or, so whatever. Um, got home, kind of just researched a little bit, uh, and in the trending articles or whatever on Yahoo, they had this article about Israel Gutierrez reveals he's gay today, and he was an ESPN or is an ESPN analyst or whatever. But what I found interesting when I went to this article was I was scrolling down and it has this picture. He's gonna be getting married on September 12th to this guy too. But so whatever, in what is that, 8 days? But yeah, they're wearing the Batman and the Robin shirts, and I thought that's pretty strange. This has been a recurring theme as of the last few weeks. It's been really out there and noticeable. Um, I'll just pull it up. We talked. I don't even know here. I talked about it in this where the Batman guy died. Um, Morgan Freeman's granddaughter died. Then the Batman guy died. The guy impersonating Batman. Donald Trump said that he was Batman at the Iowa State Fair, and then Batgirl died like the next day. And there's a ton of stuff about the number 58 that's been in the news as of late. The Roanoke shooting there was a bunch of stuff with 58. Can't even remember. I talked about Princess Margaret. There was a bunch of 58, 85. I've talked about Back to the Future, and Back to the Future's originally set in the year 1985, and it actually ends on October 27th, 1985. But they go to 2015, so that's why it's significant to this year. You had NBA player Daryl Dawkins die at 58. There's just a lot of 58 coded in these stories as of recent. The theater shootings had a lot of 58 with them even. But anyway, I looked up this guy then, Israel Gutierrez. Of course, he announces that he's gay, and he was born on June 26th, the day that gay marriage was legalized. And it doesn't really say a whole lot about him, so whatever, I just do what I always do. I take his birthday and just kind of look at some things. So he announced that he was gay on September 4th, and he's getting married on September 12th, 2015. So I took his birthday to the day he's going to get married, and this is also the day gay marriage was legalized, so it makes sense that he'd be getting gay married. It's 78 days, but that's also 2 months, 17 days. I talked about this with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was born on February 17th, 217. It all stems back to Space Jam if you go back and watch tons of my previous videos. But also, 217 plus 217 days is 922, the day Pope Francis will be in the United States. Also, 78, Queen Elizabeth was 52 years old in 1978. I think that was the year that her sister, Margaret, died, and I talked about the 58s and 85s around Margaret. Also, it was the last time that a horse won the Triple Crown. An American Pharaoh was surrounded by 52s. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but if you go back and watch my previous videos, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But 78 is a pretty significant number with Queen Elizabeth and her sister. It's also 37 years ago, which another number they like to code, especially with like an 88 or something. But let's see here. Also, just check this out. So he's getting married on 9/12, and that's the Queen's birthday, 4/21. 4/21 to 9/12, 144 days. We've also all these numbers are interrelated. And rather than re-explaining it, I'll just post a link to a video I made that explains in a short summary, I guess, of why these numbers are interrelated and kind of what they mean and whatnot. So if you don't understand, just check out the link in the description. Also, I checked out his name in Gematria, and his name in Gematria is 85 and 193. And in the Roanoke shooting, the newscaster lady that supposedly got shot and killed, her name they said on TV was Allison Parker. but a bunch of people did research and they found her on Facebook, and her real name was actually Allison Bailey. But if you put Allison Bailey Parker, it adds up to the exact same thing as Israel Gutierrez. And while I'm on the topic of the Roanoke shooting again a little bit, I wanted to point out, I made a comment on Zachary K. Hubbard's video that he actually had to delete, because otherwise his YouTube might get deleted and whatnot. And I just thought it was really interesting. So this Allison Bailey or whatever, I don't even want to click on that because then I might get copyright or a strike too. But she basically she had like a different boyfriend or whatever. His name was Daniel Wools, and he was on there, or maybe it wasn't really even him, but there was a guy with the name Daniel Wools like trolling all of the comments or whatever. And I wrote this big long deal. I wish I would have took a screenshot of it, but I wrote about the previous video that I had made about Kanye West and Taylor Swift and Wes Craven and Freddie Gray and how it all tied into that. And it was all about the number 139, and also 168. It was like Queen Elizabeth II is 168, Taylor Swift, Beyonce Knowles. There's a whole bunch of them. I talked about it in the previous video. But then this guy comes on here and tells me I'm an idiot, blah, blah, blah. So I checked out his channel, and he has videos of, like, for Allison, and he's singing a song. And he makes, like, a little slideshow of their text messages. So I just screenshotted them because I didn't know if the video would get deleted, whatnot. And I just want to show something here. It even tells, like, when they started dating and stuff like that. And basically in the slideshow, he shows the text messages or whatever, and she says, or I don't know what, can't remember who's who here, but it says, 1 year ago today I met you, the love of my life, blah, blah, blah. And the date is 7/16/2014. That is the 168 days left until the end of the year. So I just wanted to point it out here. Also, the 197th day, that actually ties into Obama and a few other things. The 197 is the 35th prime, like the mirror of Herbie's number, and you got the guy from Herbie. There's a ton more stuff about that as well, but so just want to point that out again. That's the picture. It says that's when they met, and then right after that, it has a picture. Let's see here. Hey, I really love you today. Just want you to know that the date is 9/13. That is the 139 that I talked about in the message or whatever. And then it insinuates, I love you every day. I guess there's just something special about today. Why is that? Blah, blah, blah. This is the day that they actually started dating. So interesting, they started dating on 9/13. Also, there's also that eclipse or whatever before the blood moon that's on 9/13. So I mean, really, what are the odds of that? It just seems really fishy and strange that I would comment that, and then he talks crap, and I go look at his video, and it shows that. It's just really strange. And since Zachary's video got deleted, I just wanted to document that, I guess. So who knows? Maybe this video will get deleted now, but I doubt it. Well, anyway, also if you go to his channel, there's a ton of stuff to deal with Batman with him, and you can find him on Facebook even, and his name or whatever adds up to 52, and he has Batman stuff. It's ridiculous. I don't want to get this flagged, so I'm not going to show much more or any detail. But anyway, I was wondering, this kind of looks like 139. It's just rearranged. So I just thought 193 sounds like a plane wreck, So who knows? I know, like, Ron Walker always talks about the plane wrecks and whatnot and how they're connected. So I thought, all right, I'll look up to see if flight 193. So whatever, I clicked on it. It's the most ridiculous thing of all time here. So the flight actually crashed, and look when it crashed. 5/8 of 1978. Even had 52 passengers and 6 crew members. 58 people on the plane that crashed on 5/8. So also the flight originally was from Miami. I mean, this guy, the Israel Gutierrez, he even went to the University of Florida. He covered Miami Heat for both newspapers, blah, 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 blah. But I mean, check. It was even, one of the stopovers was Louis Armstrong, New Orleans. And, dude, that just reminded me of the thing that happened in tennis yesterday. You had this guy, Jack Sock, he collapsed or whatever. Supposedly collapsed. If you really watch it, I should pull up the video. The miles per hour is 110, and then he hits it, and it's 84, a number we've seen with Obama and the Pope and everything else over and over and over. And he hits the ball, whatever, and then all of a sudden he starts acting weird and has this cramp, whatever. But he collapses. One of the biggest things that I noticed, look at his shirt. It is that blood moon orange color. I mean, that doesn't have to necessarily mean anything, but pretty strange that that's been a huge topic. And then, I mean, that's totally that color. But also there's been all this stuff in the news about falling. The Kyle John Baptist, the Atlanta Braves fan, the stock market fell. September 23rd is the first day of fall. Oh, there's a whole bunch of different falling stories in the news within the last week. So anyway, we got Jack Sock, born, look when he's born, September 24th. A pretty interesting day to be born this year. Or just to be born coming up, it's talked about a lot. Also, born in Lincoln, Nebraska. And I just talked about Lincoln, Nebraska in the Herbie stuff. It all has to do with Herbie Husker. The guy in the Love Bug Herbie died. Even the Teen Wolf stuff that stems back to Lupercalia. This was the guy who beat him, and his name in Gematria is 144. And also 54, remember, the word love adds up to 54. And I swear when I was reading one of these articles, there was something to do with the score being something love. I can't even remember for sure, but maybe I could be wrong too. But love is a score in tennis or whatever. They call it love, and 54. I think even Jack Sock, his career record is 54 and 48 in the singles. So kind of interesting. He's even age 22, and he was ranked number 22 in this tournament. I'm surprised it didn't happen yet on 9/2, which would have been 22 days before his birthday, but it was on 9/3. Look at the stuff over on this one too. 33 comments. Reads not 239 or the 923.6K 611 66. I mean the timestamps on these pictures. 232 the mirrors. 232. Well, there's actually a 231. Whoa. Interesting. Okay. So then later that night at the U.S. Open, a drone fell from the sky and landed in the stands. So another falling story. Also, tennis isn't... I'm pretty sure tennis is like a huge England... They love it. Like the royal family is all about tennis and whatnot. So just watch this part of the story in here. In a second, they're going to show like a fake drone, an animation. It's an 88. Just watch it here.
Even thinking it was a bomb. Can we continue? The man allegedly at the controls.
You see the 88 there? That's some crazy stuff.
Allegedly at the controls.
They just randomly throw it in there for no reason whatsoever. Also wanted to point out, this is in New York. That's the second place that Pope Francis is going to on his trip when he comes to the United States. So interesting. I don't know if they're foreshadowing something or what. Just pretty interesting. There's a lot of falling stuff in the news. Also, I forgot, ESPN, the Gematria is even 54. It was supposedly 90 degrees when this happened. 90 degrees adds up to 150 and 69. Oh, I'm running out of time. Just going to make a part 2, so see you there.